Hello, watch lovers. You know what time it is. And with me tonight, I have a special guest, Dee from D Time Love. We have Gavin and we have Kaylee.
Hi, guys.
Hi, everyone.
Spencer, one of these days, do you think it would be, hi, you know what time it is, welcome to That Watch Guy London. Thanks for joining us.
Tuning in.
You know I forget. You know
but
that.
also, he always goes different order. Sometimes it's me first, then you. Do you know what I mean?
No,
I know.
you got, the
Mix it
guest's
up.
got to be first. Actually, Kaylee, got to give a special shout out. You're surprised, aren't you?
I am very surprised.
Peter Brennan. Yeah?
Yeah.
So we had someone who gave us some great ideas.
Amazing.
Amazing ideas.
Well, it's interesting you say Peter Brennan because I've got my emails up here because I've had 2 emails this week from Peter. Yeah. And I think we said last week on the show that anybody that came up with some good suggestions for the closing credits, we would get Kaylee, hold up the little gift. Yes, we said we'd be giving away, modelled by the gorgeous Kaylee, the Cartel T-shirt and hat. And you've mentioned Peter Brennan, but that's who I've picked.
Is that a shut up?
No, but Peter sent 2. He didn't send 1 email.
No.
Yeah.
Not only did he post in the show post credits last week, but he also sent through a few. I'll read them out
Well,
to you,
here's a
Spencer.
word. Go on then.
I mean, they're probably about as bad as yours, but BQ watches where the only Q is the one that stands for quality. BQ watches where the only Q is quality. BQO, there's only one Q at BQ watches, quality. That's it, he said. So anyway, for your efforts, Peter, 100%.
There's some others he sent.
Yeah,
as
there's
well.
some. There's
No,
a really...
well, there is another
There's
one.
loads.
Got the best quality though.
Yeah. Do you want me to get the others up? I
Go
can
on.
get.
The
Yeah,
others
read
here.
them. They're
Shall I
fun.
try and find them? Okay, here we go. I'll get the other ones up. I'll read
love
out
the
the
fact
email.
that
Here you
somebody-
go.
yeah.
Gavin, Kaylee, Spencer, and viewers for ideas on new possible strapline for the BQ team to consider. My suggestions are below. Don't queue with BQ.
I love that.
Beat the queue with BQ. There's never a queue with BQ. Timeless choices for you with BQ. Whether buying, selling, or trading, BQ for you. The time, the place, BQ for you.
Excellent.
It's well worthy of a cartel hat and t-shirt.
Absolutely.
Oh, 100%.
I'll let you carry on with your story now. Peter Brennan.
You've done it now.
Go on, Peter Brennan.
You finished it, Gav.
Was that it? Was that the story?
That was the story.
I didn't mean to steal your thunder.
Yeah.
Sorry
Don't
about that. Welcome to Monday night, everybody. That Watch Guy London. Great to have you all with us. As you can see, we have Dimitri in the house as a very special guest. And for obvious reasons, because if we want the font of all knowledge on watches, especially the brand we're covering today, which is Omega,
He's the man.
We thought we'd cut you out, Spence,
Yeah.
and go straight to the Don. But we will come to you in a
Okay.
second. Dimitri, great to have you on.
Thank you. Well, thank you. I'm glad to be back.
Good to be
And
back.
I'd just like to say we're still top of the league.
Arsenal, yeah, we had a bit of a disastrous weekend, but not as bad as Manchester United.
You're
Wow,
crazy.
literally fell off a horse. Not
Fell
sure
off a
what
horse.
went on there. The big news, though, this weekend was probably yesterday.
Why?
Kaylee, what happened yesterday? It wasn't Love Island related. Shall I give you a little clue?
Oh.
Kaylee, come on.
Sorry.
Spencer, even you knew about it this time,
I heard
didn't
all
you?
about this.
It took a week at the last launch for you to get the hang of it. But yes, there's a MoonSwatch launch tomorrow. Dee, what do you think?
What do I think? Well, I wonder if it's going to be a Bioceramic or real 18-karat gold. Your guess
It
is as
could
good
be
as
really
mine.
interesting. Everybody's speculating.
No, well, look, let's be honest. It's going to be, I predict it will be Bioceramic with a sort of gold PVD. Some sort of coating, I would have thought.
There's renders out there all the way today. I've been obviously digging through the internet, having a little trawl.
So what are you thinking,
What do you
Gav?
think of that, though, Gav?
I mean, what do I think? I mean, that's very... It's overly yellow and looks very plasticky. But then that's Swatch, isn't it, all over?
I don't fancy the bracelet. Do you really?
So it's going to be called the Moonshine.
Yes.
Okay. And I think basically it could be based on what they're saying. Maybe something like that. What's that, Dimitri?
Well, that is a 70s model, Moonshine. That's the original. that's probably got a 3-2-1 movement or a 8-6-1.
But in
I would've thought.
2019, they actually released the colour literally called the Moonshine.
The Moonshine,
didn't
it's
it?
got an alloy
Yeah.
in the gold. It does give it a different sheen.
Yeah.
And you
It's
do
a
see it
very
on
own
the Apollo
yellow gold
11
alloy created in 2019.
version as well.
So what I've been led to believe, and just gathering information on the internet, it's a
Suppose
mission.
you don't know, Gav. I feel like you're really in there. I'm surprised they haven't called you to tell you.
I'm
what
going to
it
they would've
is.
asked
say. I'm
you
going to
for
say.
that.
Yeah, ask your opinion. Do you think we should bring this
Don't
out?
joke. I sent a proper begging letter last night.
Shut up.
No, I
And-
did. No, I did. I said, you need to understand.
Listen, ask him the reply. What was the reply, Gav?
Zero reply. Zero response. I basically when asking for a friend, what would be the chances of someone who's literally obsessed and stood in the rain, met some lovely people, I've queued for hours, I've not just bought for myself, I've actually bought for friends as well when I've happened to be passing. What's the chance? But
And
from-
their reply was nothing.
just zero.
Aw. But you're obviously going to go tomorrow.
You never
right?
know.
I'm
Gav, they could-
100% going tomorrow.
There might be something on the door labelled Gavin.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's very interesting,
Only
actually.
entry for Gavin Alexander.
It's very interesting because
Be camping out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going straight from here, Gav.
I will be camping. No, but it's being launched in 4 different centres across the world.
So we find out in the morning, don't we? Because you've got.
Well, that's right. Tokyo comes first. But what you do have is obviously the advantage of knowing what Tokyo does, but they're apparently only selling them tomorrow. They're not going in stores, which I think is interesting. They're all being sold in the financial districts of the country. So where they come up on here, there you go, Tokyo and Switzerland. It's all in financial districts. Which
What's
I
the
guess
Royal Exchange?
in the city of London.
Oh.
Yeah.
All the grade A lawyers are. And
Well, it's where
It's
all the
the
city used to be. It's,
broker
it's
boys.
opposite the Bank of England. So it's all where
So how
the,
many Swatch shops are there?
there isn't a Swatch shop there
it's
at
an
all.
Omega. It's an Omega.
Yeah, it's an Omega
yeah.
boutique.
Oh, interesting.
But I would imagine they've obviously learnt the lessons, and perhaps if they're
a
expecting
bit
a
of
crowd,
security
they've
or-
probably got it all under
Gav, do we
wraps.
know how many pieces? Any
No
speculation?
clue. The only thing I've been guessing, and someone speculated to me earlier, it's a mission to the moon with a plated Moonshine gold chrono second hands, perhaps in special packaging, and roughly speaking, maybe 25 Swiss francs more a premium to the original. It's not limited, but it will only be made for one day of sale.
Wow, one day.
So it's either going to be carnage or it's just going to be invite only, and it'll
Yeah.
just be for the special guests.
What
that get
would be
invited.
your guesstimate? What, 500, 1,000 pieces per store?
I'm not even sure I could guess, Spence.
They're
There you
keeping
And
go.
it-
how
What
much do you
they
think
say?
it will be
They're
cost
playing. They're playing it very. They're playing their cards very close to their chest on
270.
this one. And what I can't understand is that it's being sold at an Omega boutique.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what the
Oh.
marketing team is thinking.
Well, hold on a second.
I mean, come on,
We're-
Swatch, Omega boutique.
Well, we're saying it's an Omega boutique only because there happens to be one at the Royal Exchange, but it is also an event space there. It could be just
A
happens.
pop-up?
Yeah, it could be
don't
like
know.
a pop up.
Well,
Imagine
you're
if-
just shocked that it's a.
I just honestly, I know some enthusiasts that would be pulling their hair out just hearing this.
What the Swatch? And,
Yeah, because the Speedmaster, the Omega fanboys will be like absolutely disgusted.
Gav,
with
I
this.
hope they don't have like a plasticky bracelet. Personally,
What, you like the Velcro one that on
I
the
just
other?
think,
Yeah.
yeah.
But that's Swatch.
Yeah, that's what- yeah.
It's got to be true to the heritage of Swatch.
But they do have stainless steel models as well that are slightly more premium than it's going to be £300 sterling.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
roughly speaking, sort of
thereabouts.
maybe sort of circa 300. Just looking at the chat in the comments, Mark saying it'll be 239. Been waiting for my Moonshine Omega for 1 year now. Put my deposit down, so locked in my price. Will it ever come? It'll be the same Chaos Stampede as last time. I feel like the one thing that they've learned is if they have now learnt the lessons. I know when I go to Oxford Street and queue at, let's say, 8 in the morning or 9 in the morning to pick up watches for friends, it's now very organised. It's very organised, and you wait round the corner and they let you in 4s and 5s into the store. So I'd imagine they've got
It's
that now
taken
down
a while.
heavy.
It's taken a year.
It literally took them nearly a year to sort
This
that out.
got announced on Sunday.
Yeah, on Sunday, and they're launching it sort of 2
But
days
it is
later.
very different to the ones that you've got, the MoonSwatches. Do you get what I mean? Like they're very. I feel like it's the colours. It
Well,
was
they
like
represented the planets, didn't they?
That's what I mean. They're very different to this, and also
Yeah.
the different colours. Like it's a bit like the OPs and the Rolex. You know what I mean? I think that might be what drew the crowd in. It's not necessarily that it's a Swatch.
Yeah.
It's because of how different they were. So I'm not saying that there won't be queues for this, but I'm just saying
It's because it was an Amiga collaboration.
yeah.
I think that was.
And that was
that's
the
what
big
drew
thing.
everybody in. Yeah, I mean, Mike Lewis is saying Swatch want all this chaos, and I have to agree.
They do. You'll probably look. You know what I predict? I wouldn't be surprised. It won't be just one reveal. There will be 3 variants of the Moonshine, maybe in the green, the gold, and the
coloured
blue.
dials.
Yeah.
Yeah, that, I mean,
I
they could
think that-
absolutely.
Are you going to
be a
record
thing.
it, Gav?
So, don't tell the people I'm working for tomorrow, but I am working tomorrow. I am in town, so I am going to the Swatch boutique in Oxford Street first thing in the morning to try and pick up a watch for one of your people.
Yes.
You asked for friends to
Yes.
pick one up. Yeah, so I'll see what they've got tomorrow, if they've got any, and I will ask the questions. But when I asked the questions yesterday, the store people that I know at Swatch, who I messaged, said they knew nothing about this.
They're a bit upset they're not getting it.
Well, I would imagine today they probably are, because if you're the store manager of a Swatch shop and you've been selling these watches all year,
And the MoonSwatch is
you've done unbelievable. You know, as a
Yeah.
store, you've smashed your sales.
Expectations and everything.
Personally speaking, if I was someone like Carnaby Street who cannot sell them at Carnaby Street, they can't sell them because
Why?
of all the complaints from the residents in Carnaby Street because of the queues and everything else that they've not been.
Is that really there?
Yeah, on day one they launched them. I think they sold one watch or never opened. That's where all the riots were. Well, they were all
Yes.
stores. But that's where I was, and they've never been allowed to sell them since.
The
So-
eBay flippers turned up.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
eBay flippers are there in abundance.
Yeah,
Gav, just look at the size of that Royal Exchange store.
Yeah, it's tiny.
I can't see it. Oh yes, I can. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's why I say.
Yes,
but the
very
Royal
small, yeah.
Exchange has an entertaining space, James, doesn't it?
They've got a Patek Philippe
Yeah, so
boutique
I
in there
think
as well.
that's going to.
You think it might be like a big pop-up maybe
exactly.
instead?
I think it will be
Yeah,
a proper
that
installation.
would. I think that
it's
would
probably being
make
built
more
now.
sense.
It's
Yeah.
probably being built now overnight, I would imagine.
Yeah.
I will not be driving there tonight to have a look. But anyway, tomorrow afternoon I'm meeting with Mark, and we are both going over there to see what's what.
I'm still trying to get my head around this
Are you?
Swatch. I just,
The
quartz-
Nike Tiffany sneakers
quartz
get released
chronograph,
tomorrow.
Yes,
know.
they do. Yes.
What do they look
You
like?
getting those, Gav?
And I have actually spoken to our friends. James, I've spoken to our friends.
What they look like, James?
They're
Can I
let me
see them?
see?
They're black with a Tiffany blue stripe. But if you were family and friends, that's them. The black with a Tiffany stripe. If you were family and friends, they're a Tiffany blue trainer with a black stripe. But that was family and friends. So that's what's
Oh my
coming out
god,
tomorrow.
they're so nice. How much are they?
400 quid.
£400.
Do you want a pair?
Yeah, do you?
Spencer's going to treat you.
If you hit Target this
They are
month,
so cute.
Aren't they lovely?
Hey, and what's the other family and
James,
friends
if
one?
you can show the family and friends edition that came out last weekend, it's a reverse colour. They're Tiffany blue, the trainers, with a black Nike
No,
tip.
now that would be a dream.
James will pop those up. Speaking of, there you go.
I like it.
There they
There.
are. The
No,
blue,
I don't like them.
the blue and the black.
These ones.
Yeah,
Look a
yeah,
bit
that's the
meh.
ones. Pop those up on screen.
God, what else is being released tomorrow?
Well,
Christ.
I have something for you too. There's a gift coming your way. I told you I'm meeting Mark tomorrow. We often meet for a coffee and we hang out and we go and buy swatches and bits and pieces. And Mark is coming with Jackie to Watches and Wonders with
I
us.
know.
Yeah, and he sent you both a present, which mysteriously turned up at Vicky's. Hold on a second.
Surprised. I never get presents.
Ever.
Well, Jimmy, sorry, I haven't got one for you. Pass it round though. It's for those travelling moments.
Oh, lovely.
These are for you two, courtesy of Heavenly Mark, which is very nice.
Wow,
It's
very
a
nice.
universal, super duper.
So I can't
Oh my
ever
God,
say my
it's a,
phone's flat.
Yeah.
It's a portable charger.
It's a portable charging unit, but a super
oh my
duper
God,
proper
thank
one.
you so much. I could take that to Switzerland.
That's the idea.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you so much.
Oh,
That's
look,
very, very
there's
nice
like
of you.
little-
no
Oh, it's
excuses,
one that you
Spencer.
put your phone on top as well.
Yes.
But then there's USB ports that you can plug other things
What a
in.
Cool,
sales
cool.
pitch you're doing, Kaylee. It's amazing. You should do a TikTok about it.
I should.
Kaylee, tell me about your viral TikTok this week.
Obviously, I'm obsessed with, obviously, Molly and Tommy and blah, blah. So we done a TikTok saying that Molly bought this particular watch for Tommy for winning the fight.
Yeah. Did she?
Obviously, it was, no. Like,
Oh.
it was more of like a,
Sales promotion.
for our
Yeah.
watches.
Yeah.
It blew up. It's got 560
Crashed the website, didn't it?
thousand. I mean, everyone in the comments genuinely think that she's bought this, and obviously she didn't. We wrote in the comments like, no, but who thinks she should? Because obviously people were like hating us. but you know, it's always a good thing.
Adam Crossfire is asking, do they come with a European plug? I believe they do.
There's different plug sockets.
There's different plugs on there.
You can take that when.
Isn't that
Yes,
really,
all of them.
really
It's
clever?
got every single one.
Should we do a little wrist roll? I know, we should get onto watches eventually, shouldn't
This
we?
is so cool. Thank you. Oh,
Jimmy, what are you sporting today?
I am sporting the Tissot PRS Powermatic, the 80 hours power reserve.
80 hours.
Yes.
Oh,
Impressive.
my thing's had a little wobble here. Hold on a second. There we go. 80-hour power reserve.
It's like it runs off a watered down 2824 ETA. They've lowered down the beat rate to allow you to get a higher power reserve. Very clever. And it comes in at £565 sterling for 2023.
Wow.
And talk about value for money, and with a brand that has a
That's
relationship with the brand we're going to discuss tonight.
That's a
Omega.
and it's a beautiful bracelet as well on there.
Yeah, fantastic. I mean,
Really
the chronograph
gorgeous.
is even better. The chronograph that's come out is £1,500 sterling, and it runs off the new 7750. It's a 7753, the new variant of that famous movement as well. So, yeah, great value, great starter piece.
That's
great
only,
every day.
That's only just been launched, hasn't it?
No, it's been
Is
around
it?
for a
Has
couple
it?
of years now.
No,
Yeah,
there was a new launch of a PRX, wasn't there, a couple of weeks ago?
yeah,
that I
different
saw?
color, different color
colourway.
palettes. They've got the
Yeah.
Tiffany, colour
Funnily
palette and stuff.
enough,
yeah,
Greggy Boy says great watch. Nick Nicholas says they should do a green dial in that.
they do. They do
Yes,
green
They
dial.
do
yeah.
green dial. Kaylee, what are you wearing today?
Hey, let's have a look.
I was actually travelling back from Devon today, so I actually haven't been into the. Oh, no, that's a lie. I ran into the office once I got home and I got changed, and I ran in because
Good watch.
apparently it was crazy busy today.
Yeah.
So I ran in to try and help. I'll be honest, I've totally forgot.
You totally forgot.
Yeah.
Spencer, I'm not going to bother. You've got Submariner on. It's obvious.
Correct.
You've got Submariner on.
Correct.
I'm not even showing it.
I thought we're doing a mega show.
We're going to do a
tonight.
mega. Give him a mega. Give him something out the boxes.
That's really
That's a
nice.
comment for you, Spence.
Go on.
No heating at BQ tonight. Everyone's in big jumpers. Well, that's
Well, we're
interesting.
not
Is that
BQ.
minus 10 here?
We're not actually at
James
BQ.
has turned the heating off, just to let you
I
know.
want
Yeah.
to kill us all of
Trying to save some money
hypothermia.
here, guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Freezing.
So I have on, only because it's a show about Amiga, I put on my Black Bay Pro.
Very
Very
nice.
nice.
Because it's a show about an Amiga.
I don't
I've
I
bought
don't
my
own one.
Tudor.
I don't own one.
Luckily,
I mean, I could lie and put one
luckily
of
I bought
Spencer's
some in.
on. I could lie and put one of Spencer's on, but I don't own one. Let's talk Omega, Jimmy.
Should we send them over?
Yeah.
Send them to.
Well-
there we go.
Where do we start with?
Why don't we start
Omega.
with La Generale Watch Company?
Well, what I'll do, I'll start from this end. Oh, I can see you've got some Speedmasters. Okay, this will
Oh,
be
do you want
good.
to see the whole
Yeah.
array?
Spence, have a guess. What year Omega was founded? Actually, it's an
I
interest.
like
It's a
games
catch
like
question.
this.
It's a catch
I think
question.
it's about the 1840s.
Yeah, they've been around for about 175
Bloody hell!
years.
No,
Yeah,
seriously,
it
give
was.
him a prize.
It was about 18.
It was
you go.
1848.
All right,
put
hang
on
on
the
one
charger.
sec. How about blindfolding him and see how many watches he can? Yeah.
That's not a bad idea,
That
is
was
it?
that's a
Did
good
you hear
shout.
about that? 5 out of 6 blindfolded.
Right,
Yeah,
okay.
that's right.
Well, the thing is, I can tell they're Speedmasters.
Jimmy,
No,
do you
hang on.
Hold on,
If
stop,
you
stop, stop.
didn't know.
Jimmy, do you remember what you said when you walked in here today? What did you say?
What did I say?
I must remember to talk into the microphone.
Oh yes, sorry. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, we played a great game last week.
Great
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, we blindfolded
yeah.
Spencer.
Yeah. Well,
5
such
out
a
of 6 he
Spencer's
got.
like, Jean-Claude Van Damme in Bloodsport. He's taught himself how to authenticate watches blindfolded.
Yeah. So you were close, Spence, because the forerunner of Amiga, La Generale Watch Company, was founded by La Chaux de Fonds, Switzerland, or at La Chaux de Fonds, in 1848 by Louis Brand.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay?
What did I say?
But
1840.
You said 1840. That's pretty good. His watches sold from Italy to Scandinavia by way of England, which was his main market. And in 1894, his two sons, Louis Paul and César, developed a revolutionary in-house manufacturing and total production control system that allowed components, parts to be interchangeable. Watches developed with these techniques were marketed under the Omega brand company of La Watch Generale. And officially, that was 1903.
So very
then they all
similar
died.
time to
Spence.
Rolex.
Then they all died.
What do you mean they all died?
The owners
died?
died, and and there was only kids. There was a 23-year-old running the company. Yeah, there we go. That's all my history for you.
Well, look, Omega have got a real rich history, and if you looked at them as a candidate and you looked at their CV, looking at it from a recruitment point of view and looking at their achievements, what can you say? They've been around for 175 years. They are a staple brand in Switzerland. So they're probably one of the most credible Swiss brands in the fact that before they even made their first caliber, they were the first to produce a minute repeater. People don't really talk about this. Then they went on to do stuff for the Olympics, NASA, the Speedmaster, pop culture, you name it. Omega is a foundation member of the Swiss watch market, and the brand has stayed in high regard for all these years. And probably when you think of brands, everybody knows who Omega is, second to Rolex.
Yeah.
You have to really think about that. I mean, there's not many brands, even Patek Philippe. If I was to talk to friends and family, maybe one out of 4 people will know what I'm talking about in regards to Patek. But Omega, most people know who they are. I would say even my parents are not even watch enthusiasts. They know who Omega is. And
I mean, they're also a giant marketing machine, as are all of the watch brands.
They are.
Specifically because they've brought the brand into the forefront with the likes of Man on the Moon, Snoopy, James Bond is obviously
like you say,
now
from
synonymous.
From films and Olympics.
Yeah, believe it or not, if you go back in the history of Omega, their marketing expertise was sort of the benchmark for everyone else. If you go back how they created partnerships with the military, they got involved in tracking time, recording speed in sports. In Switzerland, they got the partnership with the Olympics.
That's right. I always remember seeing Omega up with the Olympics.
It's fantastic.
Timer.
And they've got so many iconic
Was
designs.
the minute repeater their invention?
What it was, the founders of the company, they actually did a minute repeater before they did the first Omega, before they actually got branded.
Was that on a watch or a pocket watch?
It was a pocket watch. It was a pocket watch.
Because I had many of those over time.
Pocket watch. So,
and the military, where they'd have the markings on the back of the watch.
Yeah. With the British, military.
Well, they had the welded lugs as well.
Yeah,
they had the bar across that was welded.
Yeah. Look, I've had a love affair with Omega, being a watch enthusiast, like one of the first...
Have you told your wife? Does she know that?
Oh, well, no. Well, listen, this is why the D-Time love, everything is a love affair when it comes to watches, But, for me, obviously the prices have increased, even with Omega now. They're starting to get out of reach for a lot of people, to be honest with you. But I still feel
definitely retail prices.
Some of the gold ones we've seen of late, some are huge.
Yeah. You've got special boutique Speedmasters now that are going 35, 40k.
Yeah.
You've got DeVille models now what have got tourbillons that are going at 125k with diamonds and rubies. You just unbelievable. But they're a real watch enthusiast brand. I find a lot of people think the special editions really dilute the brand as well, but there's a model for everyone,
aren't they, as well? Especially their big pieces are very unique to people that want that particular piece,
Yeah, I mean, you've got some real hardcore enthusiasts. I look at like the Speedmaster, like a 911. Yeah, it's stayed pretty much the same. It's a bit like having a classic Porsche 911. You restore it, you tune it up. It's a bit of an analogy I'm using here, but they make it more modern to work with, the modern elements today. And that's exactly what they've done with their calibers,
Sure.
Yeah.
But should we start showing some watches?
Yeah, let's start. Well, there's a question just coming from Kevin Harwood. I've just purchased the Platinum 007 numbered edition Seamaster 300, my first Omega to my collection. What does Dimitri think of this model, and is it a good investment?
Look, with Omega, they're never going to be the same sort of investment like you get with Rolex. I have to be honest with you, yeah. But anything that's rare material, James Bond, they do have a cult following, yeah. So it depends what you're buying it for. If you're buying it for investment, I would say not so great in investment. If I'm being honest with you, you're not going to get double your money. You're not going to get triple your money. No. Maybe long term.
Was that a short production run?
It would be a short production run, yeah. But there's so many short production runs.
There's only really one. I mean, apart from perhaps, you've got an Ed White over there, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's perhaps get that out, because that is something
I think you got
that
it there.
from an investment purpose.
Well, the Speedmasters are different.
Yeah.
The Seamasters are... They're good, but the Speedmaster, because of what they are, manual wind, movements, they're more sought after, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Sorry, they're just conflabbing over there trying to get the watches out. But specifically, they reissued the Edmaster, didn't they?
Yes.
The Ed White 321 Speedmaster.
So now it's a master chronometer as well.
Yeah.
15,000 gauss. So it's.
I don't know, Dimitri, pass me that.
Oh, he's got it. Here you go.
Or is it there? There, Dimitri.
Let's have a little look at this
That
because
one or this one, I don't know the difference.
It's a beautiful piece.
let's pop that under there.
I could be wrong, by the way.
Can you see that, Dimitri?
What am I looking at? What am I?
Well,
Okay,
just
oh,
here.
this. Okay, yeah.
Right, yeah. So just talking through the watch in terms of, why it's iconic.
Look, it all comes down to, the Speedmaster started in 1957, the Broad Arrow, and then in the 60s you had the Moonwatch came into hand. And put it this way, that NASA association with them, the design hasn't changed since the 60s, Gavin.
I am listening to every word you're saying. When
I
I'm
feel
trying
that.
No, I am listening to every word you're saying. The design hasn't changed.
It hasn't changed. Look, to be an icon, they haven't really. It hasn't changed in design for so many years, but they've improved it. The model internally, movement-wise. So you had the 321, the 861, the 1861.
And for those that perhaps are watching the show and are new to sort of watch collecting, perhaps explain what a 321 movement is.
Okay, a 321 was the first manual wind caliber that they produced, which was like Lemania based. And to let you know what high regard watch enthusiasts have that movement, it was used part of brands in the Holy Trinity like Patek Philippe for their chronographs were using Lemania movements, so were Vacheron Constantin, and even the likes of Breguet as well during that period of time. So
yeah.
So the 321 movement is where they started off. They went to the 861, I believe.
That was the later one, wasn't it?
The later one, and then they went on, I think, late 90s, the 1861, and then they progressed it from there. And then the newer ones now, I think they're master chronometers, coaxial, so they've got 15,000 Gauss as well. So in modern terms, you can walk through an MRI scan with them, you know what I mean? So fantastic pieces. If you look at, for me, the actual Speedmaster is an icon. This is anyone that follows Archie Luxury, AC3, the man on the effing moon. This is his bloody watch, right? But the Moonwatch for me is the icon. It's like the Muhammad Ali of chronographs because it beat the Rolex Daytona. They all went to NASA, and NASA approved this watch to be the NASA watch. You know what I mean? At the end of the day,
and not just that, it's the watch. It's the watch that saved them as well, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
On the when they overshot the moon and all disasters broke loose, they had to count down the seconds on their. Obviously, not on their Swatch.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we'll probably be both using a Swatch now.
As well, I like the fact that you got glass backs on some of them as well.
Yeah, the sapphire sandwich as well. Slightly. Look, for me, I've got the what I call the purest.
Yeah, I put up the Snoopy on there because if we were talking about investment grade watches.
Yeah, investment. Yeah, the
probably
Snoopy is a good investment.
Yeah,
all the 100%. Snoopies, the special editions, the Apollo editions, great investments. If you can get one because they're hard to get.
I love that one. I do like that. Gav.
Yeah.
It's absolutely stunning. It's a gorgeous watch. I went with Paul when he picked his up, and obviously I've seen it when you've had a couple in, and they're gorgeous. I mean, they really, really are stunning watches.
Ones that have got the ones that are really popular with us actually, because we've got one here. That's 007, right? It's the
I love that,
the James Bond one.
Yes,
these are very popular with us. But also the one that's on a titanium bracelet.
Yeah, that's on the NATO.
So let's pop that up.
I love the colour of those.
It's nice,
with the brown Gav.
False patina, very nice.
Let's pop that up so we can have a little look. So synonymous with 007, isn't it? Omega.
Yeah, since the 90s.
Yeah, I think it was. What was the first one? I think it was 1995, wasn't it?
Early 90s.
Yeah,
it was a quartz version.
GoldenEye. There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely stunning watches across the board. But really, they've done really well to sort of hold on to that, haven't they? Do you think?
They have. You look, at the end of the day, you either love it or you hate it. because if you don't agree with the helium escape valve there, you know what I mean? It's not everybody's cup of
Do you
tea.
like that?
But hold on a
Do you
second.
like
I
wasn't-
like it.
No, but wasn't that really a laser? Wasn't it a laser? It was a laser, wasn't it?
How he climbed
But-
the floor of the facility.
Yeah, guys, I'd love to know in the comments which was your favourite James Bond watch, through the years.
Actually,
Because-
my one isn't even a James Bond one. I actually like the electric blue.
You like the electric blue?
The electric blue, the sword hands Omega Seamaster is one of my favourites.
There's an
But
abundance
the
of these.
detail in their watches,
Oh,
like you
look.
say, the hands, everything.
Look, even looking at the case, you look at the facets of the case, the way the lugs twist as well,
Yes.
the finishing, it seems to be overly engineered. And that's what Omega have stayed true to. If you look at some of the Rolexes, they used to do beveling on the lugs as well. They stopped doing that in modern Rolex. But they kept a lot of their
Where
tradition.
they twist in. Is
Yeah,
amazing.
it's fantastic. I mean, spec-wise, they're hard to argue with. Especially the master, chronometer, the METAS certification, the new 8800, calibers in the new Seamasters, 15,000 Gauss. You can walk and have an MRI scan. Look at the mil Gauss; it's only 1,000 Gauss. I mean, you got to take all of this into consideration, right?
What did
So,
you, what did
So
you
if
bring
you
in?
go for an
Sorry.
MRI, you don't have to take it off.
No, so if you're
Gav,
getting,
did you know that?
Yes, I did, because Katerina told me when I went in with Paul, she was explaining all about the Gauss and how basically they outstrip Rolex. What's a mil Gauss? 1,000?
1,000,
Yeah,
yeah, that's all.
I'm showing off because you told me that earlier.
Oh, did I?
I just
All right.
I just picked up on
That's
that.
amazing.
What have you bought in, Jimmy?
Well, I've brought in what I would call the purest enthusiast Speedmaster, and this is the 1861 with the Hezolite crystal, and this is circa, I believe, 2012, 2013. And this one for me, because it's Hezolite crystal, this is the original, the medallion at the back, the professional
Oh, yeah.
moon
Yeah.
watch. This is their
Very classic,
foundation.
isn't it?
Yeah, this one you can't go wrong.
Yeah.
This is like classic 911 restored to modern times.
Sure.
Fantastic piece.
Yeah.
Tim Jack says, I don't get the Snoopy. I get it from an investment point of view, but obviously because you buy it and you're in the money. But looks wise, there are 100 other cartoon characters I would prefer. How about a He-Man? Russell would love that. He'd love a He-Man watch. Sorry to interrupt you.
No problem.
Off your pop again.
Well, look, this watch for me is the foundation of the Speedmaster collection. It's what the Submariner is to the Rolex lineup. For me, if you're starting a collection, this is a true foundation piece. Your money's pretty much safe in these pieces for me. I know the new variants come out now as well with the bracelet tapers down, new improved movement. But back in the day, you could pick these up for £3,000 sterling. Now the equivalent is about 7,000. But this is the model that just the one that came out just before the big black box. When you get the
Yeah.
the strap and you get the eyeglass as well.
Yes.
This came in the red
The way
box.
they finish it, that's where I feel Omega a different class, how they give you some pieces, the box where you put the straps,
Yes.
the eyeglass. Do you not think, Gav? It's a
Look,
shame that...
I think the packaging and marketing of all the Amigas that we open and we unbox
Well, we've
on the
spoke
show
about this, haven't we? When we've
are
unboxed
just
them,
simply,
it's just second
but that's
hand.
all really part of their, obviously their
Yeah.
marketing strategy, where Rolex just simply don't have to
Just
play
so-
that game.
but they could give a little bit more, and it's not that
Well, they
much
could do.
money.
Someone just wrote in the comments. Where is it, Adam? Was it Adam? Yeah.
They even
Yeah.
spray
Take
your bag
investment
when you
out of the
come out the
question.
boutique.
Take
They what?
With perfume, they spray you with perfume as
Yeah.
you walk out.
Adam says, take investment out of the question. What does the Submariner have over the Seamaster 300 to justify being almost double the price?
Okay, I'd like to answer that
You
question.
can. It was
Yeah,
fired
of
at you.
course.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I might as well get the equivalent of the sub.
Yep.
Since we're on the subject. So, this is the Omega Seamaster Professional 42mm, the latest variant. It's got an 8800
It is
caliber
beautiful.
movement. And looking at it at a glance, what do you see, guys? Straight away, you see the crystal, how clear it is. You can literally put your hand into the dial and pick it out. Anti-reflective coating on both sides of the crystal. Just looking at the way the case has been finished,
Yep.
the way it's twisted, the facets, the way it plays with the light, fantastic. Ceramic dial,
Yep.
ceramic bezel, wave dial. This
Yeah, the
watch
wave
is
dial on it.
ageless.
Gorgeous.
There will never be any patina. The dial will remain the same because it's ceramic. You don't need to service it as frequently as you would a Rolex because it's a master coaxial. It's more accurate. It's more anti-magnetic. So technically, on paper, you could say arguably it's slightly better than a Rolex Submariner, for sure. But design and aesthetic is subjective. It depends on personal preference. Whether you want a subdued look or whether you want the Seamaster, for me, is not as versatile as the Submariner. This is more in your face for me, a bit more flashy as the Rolex Submariner. Yeah, this is more flashy. You get this on a rubber and it gives it a total different feel. Okay, I do like the Rolex Submariner. I like the way the bracelet tapers. I love everything about the sub. But when I look at this, I get the element of it stands out more. The Rolex Submariner is a lot more subdued.
Yeah. You're a very Amiga guy, aren't you?
Let's talk about that. You have I know you're in lots of groups,
Yes.
right? I've never heard anybody who's in so many groups on WhatsApp and Instagram and
It's
Facebook.
the addiction.
You're in an Amiga addiction club, aren't you?
Yes, that I run.
You run?
Yeah, I started them all. Yes,
You start them all, don't you? You've got a lot of addiction clubs.
I have, yeah.
Do you see a therapist?
I think I am the therapist.
Therapy
He runs the
sessions
club
with
and the
Jimmy.
therapist.
Someone said to me, D, do you groom people for the watch industry?
Do you?
No.
You do.
I mean-
you do, basically.
Well, you got to start somewhere. But look, I've been involved with, on both sides of the groups. You can have, the Rolex fanboys will go into the Omega groups, and likewise the Omega guys will go into the Rolex groups. But
there is also a firm divide, isn't there? There are people
There is a firm divide.
who love Amiga who do
Yes.
not like Rolex.
there's got some people that will die for the brand.
Yeah.
I've never understood this because I'm a lover of all brands. I'm a real whore of horology, you could say. I like Mezen. I like a bit of everything. I like to pick and choose.
You like to
what
have your fingers in all the pies.
Of course. Why not?
What do you
So-
think on that, Gav, on that Amiga?
Well, to be fair, I have been thinking for quite a long time that perhaps it's something I should add to my collection. And actually, probably because of the MoonSwatch. From wearing the MoonSwatch on my wrist, I now feel like I really would like to have a Speedmaster. And that's the truth. So, and that,
Yeah.
I think
Well,
that is the
kind of,
leverage.
I get it from your.
That's the
from
leverage
your
read
perspective.
across that actually has worked very well for the Swatch group. Is that
Yes.
people do now, and that's in their sales figures as well.
They
They
link
sold
the two.
50% more Speedmasters last year than any, year
Since the
before.
moon.
Yes, since the
it
Yeah,
moon.
I have
it
to
does
admit-
make sense.
I wasn't sure. I thought it may devalue the brand, just having something associated that.
But all watch snobs said that.
Yeah, well,
Not
maybe
saying you're a snob.
No,
Not
it
saying.
didn't. It so didn't, did
Purist.
it?
No.
No, it didn't. Not at all.
Look,
It
it's
also
like
added
anything.
more people to recognise Amiga as well, though.
Spencer, would you like a queue outside your shop every day?
Absolutely.
All right, and a year later, they've still got queues outside the shops
The
every day.
BQ Moonswatch.
The BQQ. Yeah. Jamie Opulent says Seamaster on the rubber is where it is at.
Yeah, and I agree. On the rubber, they
I
do
do
look really
agree
good.
with that.
But I always get them on the bracelet because obviously
Martin
it's-
Maguire
that's-
makes a point as well. Amiga should take away the escape valve. It's just not needed, but and still love the
you can
watch.
get the if you don't like that, they've got the Realmaster range. The Heritage range, the 300.
Yeah.
It's got a bit of a Tudor Black Bay vibe about it.
Yeah.
Beautiful, absolutely stunning.
What's next up, Jimmy?
Because we've gone in a bit of a mixed order.
Yeah.
I was going to thought we'll do the vintage, then go modern.
We'll
But
do
anyway,
we'll do whatever you want.
Should we just go for the vintage one,
Yeah.
right? This is an Omega Seamaster, right? And probably the biggest difference between Rolex and Amiga.
Yeah.
When you think of the Submariner, it always looked like the Submariner, but look at this Seamaster.
Hold on a second. Let me go to the watch. Do you?
How did the design change
Is that the
dramatically?
one-piece case?
Yeah, unishell case, yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, that's very different. It is very vintage. I mean,
It
it's
is
not-
very
it's personally
vintage.
Not
This
a bit
is,
of me, but I
Day-Date
understand that
Cosmic,
it-
very, very
The old
different.
dynamics as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Those where the strap goes through the back.
It's a funny strap.
It's lugless as well. And you know what? If you wanted to buy into a brand like Amiga and you've got a few watches, vintage is quite a good way to go. You've got to be careful, but you can buy into a brand relatively cheaply.
Yeah.
You can't really buy into other brands cheaply. Vintage is a great place if you haven't got loads of money and you really want to have a quality Swiss brand. Then look no further than Amiga. But it's I don't even know how I even got into this watch, to be honest with you.
You've seen that, Gav, how that everything goes through the front.
There's no case back on this watch.
So it's loaded from the front. The button comes out and everything goes in.
And if people are going to start looking at buying vintage, I mean, where would I even start? How do I know what I'm getting? Do you have to? I mean, is it about going to a reputable dealer to start with?
Yes, I would say you've got to be very careful, even still on eBay, because I put it like this, because they normally these go under. Some of them go under £2,000 sterling for 2023. These models, they're about anything from £900 to £1,500. You need to go to someone that's going to give you a warranty on them for sure. Someone that's checked that it's authentic. Because the problem that you're going to have with these pieces, a lot of them are Franken watches, Spencer.
Yep. Just back on the
Frankenstein,
eBay thing. I will say that we speak about this a lot, because I know a lot of people will see, like that piece or any of the Amigas, let's say, on eBay, and there's a lot cheaper than, say, we sell it.
Yeah, you've got to be really careful with these.
You just have to. We always try to just educate, just say
Cut
it
and
may
shut.
be cheaper,
cut and shut.
but just be careful, because
all redials, a lot of them are redials, they're overly polished. You've got to be careful.
Yeah.
You know, you really need to know your
it's
watches.
cheaper for a reason. You know?
You really need to know your watches. There's one of my gumbaros I know is watching, Thomas Burnett. He knows vintage Amiga, and he's got a really good eye for detail. You know, you get all crazy tropic dials and all manner of things. I always get a look out if the hands
Burnett.
have got Thomas Burnett.
Yeah, he's in the chat.
Hey Gumbaro, I hope you're well. But
Seamaster name has been about since 1948.
Yeah, it's the most popular model in the. They sell more Seamasters today than they do Speedmasters. By the way, Speedmaster doesn't get close to the Seamaster in regards to sales. That's fact. Yeah, fact.
Interesting.
So Speedmaster gets a lot of hype, but it's the Seamaster that people buy.
Sales. Yeah.
Because you know what? Let me be honest with you. The Speedmaster it's more expensive for starters. There are automatic versions and stuff like that as well, but a lot of them are manual wind, and a lot of people that are going into Speedmaster, a lot of them know about watches. To be honest with
The
you.
old collectibles are the manuals.
People, these are real watch enthusiasts, and that's why there's so many different variants and different models. You know, I remember I used to buy the Speedmaster reduced as well. I used to pick them up really cheap.
Reduced?
Yeah, automatic, really cheap, £1,500. You got yourself a nice.
We used to sell a lot of those.
Really cool. I'm surprised it didn't do that well, but the purists want the manual one, as the Seamaster is a great everyday all-round watch.
Kaylee's dying because Love Island's about to start, and she's looking at the clock and giving me dagger eyes. Like,
no, I'm
still
are you all right?
You know.
Are you able to record it, Kaylee?
Are you joking? It finishes a week on Monday, which
Auction night? No. Yeah.
Actually,
What else?
Yeah.
What else we got there?
Yeah.
Got one more. Cause Spencer, I went through Spencer's drawers today.
We
as well.
have a big whopper here,
Let's have a look.
chunky monkey.
Chunky monkey.
Jesus Christ.
This one is a weapon, so
I'm actually going to hold on to this. No, Ian, I won't drop it for you even sec. There we go.
this is a Planet Ocean chronograph.
yeah, these are huge.
You know what? Let's put it. I know a lot of people that are chronograph fans will be like, "Oh no, it's a diver. It's got a chronograph function. You should never have a chronograph function on a dive watch." But put it this way: what is the depth rating on that, Gavin?
What's the depth rating?
Yes, about
Who's a
600 meters water resistance chronograph. Jesus Christ!
It's pretty good, isn't it?
Even with glasses, I can't read that, but I think you're right.
And the glass back as well on that.
Yeah.
Let's have a little look on the back. Yeah.
Not only can you go for an MRI scan with this one, you could kill someone with this one. It's got a bit of heft to
It
it.
really is chunky.
It's a beast.
But actually, amazingly light.
Try it on, Gav.
Shall I put it on?
Yeah.
It is a little bit top heavy though, I find. It's a bit like a James Cameron.
Yeah.
No, they are heavy.
It's bloody big. I'll give you that.
What's this, 45 case diameter? I think this one.
Yeah, I think it's 44, 45.
It's
Oh,
thick,
look,
though.
shock it
Gav.
suits you.
It's very big.
Don't like it, Gav?
No. Way too big for me. Way too big. Not out of all of the...
Amigas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spence, I've asked you to shove in a few as well, because you've got a few in stock at the moment. There's
Got
probably a couple going... What, is that it? 3? No, there's some over there, isn't there? Andy? Oh, that watch got under. Get Spencer to give me a good deal on replacing my stolen Seamaster. That's terrible. Is that a watch stolen?
We'll have to see what we can do.
Yeah.
You have to give us a call.
Well, look in the auction next week. There's going to be some bargains.
There is.
Yes, again.
I've hand selected them.
Yeah. Throw them over, Spence. What do we got? I said, get everything out the safe. This is a
What have
nice
you got
one.
there then,
This is a
Spencer?
nice one.
The black ceramic.
What's this, Dark Side of the Moon or something? Oh, no, ceramic.
That's really nice.
Just your regular old ceramic.
Oh, very nice. Beautiful.
And in terms of, I tell you what I like about this actually, apart from aesthetically, I think this is incredibly pleasing on the eye. Let's get the phone up. I think it's incredibly pleasing on the eye. But also the strap, that sort of old, sort of classic looking racing strap.
Yeah.
And I think this is very different, especially to the ones that we've obviously shown today.
Yeah.
But if you want something different to what we've shown today, I mean, Spencer's.
Look at this.
This is what we were talking about earlier.
This is class.
This one is orgasmic, and
Is that a
you
rose?
need to leave the room right now.
Is that a rose gold baby?
You need to leave the room, guys, honestly, because can I just have one more
Yeah,
second
go on. You
with
can have,
that,
yeah, you
please?
can have a second. You can have a hold. Of course you can. You can have a little play. What have we got here,
Are
Spence?
you falling in love?
I think we need to talk after the show about this one, Spence.
So what we have here, a Speedmaster in rose gold.
Moonphase, look at this. This
Look
is
at the moon. Yeah,
The dial on it's stunning.
absolutely beautiful.
And also on the leather strap, I think, as well.
mate. It's got loads of complications, hasn't it? It's
Have a look at the back as
Look
well.
at the case, but oh wow, yeah. Oh, sorry, the case is in the way. That really is lovely.
so some people will say, "Oh my God, it's automatic." The purist on this.
What do you feel? Do you like the automatic or do you prefer the manual wind?
Look, as a purist, I do prefer the manual wind. I think the Speedmaster, if you're getting one, you get the manual wind version. But if you've got money to burn and you don't really care about, you just want to enjoy yourself and money is no object, you just buy one of these because you like it. Why not?
It's very nice, isn't it? That's nice.
What's the retail on that? What's the price on that, guys?
So the actual retail, I believe, is like 25.
James, can you grab that?
We are listing it for, I want to say 20, but give me one sec.
Oh, it's gorgeous on the wrist.
So if I do 10 exhibitions for you, Spence, I could probably get all you for free, maybe.
Sorry, we're selling that
It's lovely,
for
isn't it?
23,000.
It's beautiful, yeah.
23 grand. Yeah.
Feels like a lot of watch.
It's a hell of a lot of watch for the money. You're getting a solid gold piece. They're fantastic.
Yeah, I think the comments are really positive on it as well. The manual wind gives you that connection with the watch, says Martin.
Yeah, it's that's what it's the original, isn't it? They started with the 3-2-1 movement, the manual wind.
That's what everyone's.
This is what everyone's after when you get a Speedmaster. This is what's the problem with the automatic, the reduced. Never got no love. It didn't keep its value whatsoever.
But they were great value. It was a great value.
Great
watch.
value, great watch.
What about the Speedy 57s?
57? Well, they're the broad arrow. The broad arrow's beautiful. I think these are fantastic pieces. I really like these.
What a beautiful colourway that is.
Fantastic. That is for me. And the
that.
blue, that for me.
There's green, isn't there,
There
as
is
well,
a green
Gav?
as well, yeah. I didn't want to blow James's mind with the amount of pictures I had to give him today for him to
No,
load
I think
up.
they should even do a salmon dial version of this as well.
Yeah,
would be
yeah.
good. I think that would be immense. But for these, even me, I'll be honest with you, I actually even prefer these than the actual Moonwatch.
What, the broad arrow?
Yeah, the 57 range. These are amazing for
I
me.
do love that colour.
I like the
That
red. I
burgundy's
prefer
a
the
dream.
burgundy.
Yeah.
Amigas sell well for you, Spencer?
Whenever we get them, we do sell them. Yeah. But we don't get as many as we'd like.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
I think possibly because people that buy Amiga watches generally are.
They generally want to
collectors.
keep
They know what
them.
they're doing.
And
yeah.
they're not huge money, so
Yeah.
that's why.
Yeah.
It's more the vintage. If you get a vintage 321 Spencer, they go for a hell of a lot of money. Hell of a lot of money.
Sometimes it's hard, obviously, if people buy like a brand new Amiga today, then obviously come to us, obviously, unfortunately, that it's not.
They're not
It's
trading
not
over
trading
this.
over.
Looking at this, right, and what Amiga do, bringing out these heritage pieces, the broad arrow, they keep them going, all these different variations of them, different colour palettes. It really is a watch enthusiast dream, because you can actually get exactly what you want. You don't have to compromise in any way, to be honest with you, when it comes to Omega.
What about brands? Lines like the Aquaterra as well.
Look, they're good because they're more dressy, aren't
Yeah.
they? They're a bit. They don't do as well, do they? I find they
Constellations
Yeah.
as well.
and the
Constellations.
Yeah, they
DeVille.
don't know.
You know
The
these
DeVille.
lines. They don't
No.
do great. They're like the Rolex Cellini.
Exactly. That's what I was just about
You
to say.
know,
They're very similar
The
in that
Constellation and
sense.
the DeVille definitely slower.
Well, I was walking around Mayfair the other day, and I noticed that there was three Omega boutiques, literally along one long L of shops. So you got the big one on top of Oxford Street. Then as soon as you start Regent Street, there's one, and then further down you've got Watches of Switzerland on the right, and then you've got I can't think of the other
That's
one on
the
the
best place to buy them, because if you've got more than one available Omega authorised dealer, you probably find that they will discount. If they've got it all to themselves, they've got no need to discount. So you'll probably find that they'll be saying, well, what did they price it at for you? See
Take
what
one
we
off
can do.
against the other.
It's really
Yeah.
funny because I don't think I've ever thought about walking into a watch shop and asking for a discount.
No.
Maybe it's just my...
Well, they've got this
The way I do
policy
things.
now, Omega, that they're saying they don't do discounts, but you'll find that they do. And I've seen a lot of smaller independent ADs that closed down recently, and they're shifting their Omega stock away, unfortunately, at discounted prices. So there are great deals to be had. You just got to get lucky and be there at the right time.
Yeah. It's a bit like your MoonSwatch, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's another one on New Bond Street. James, can you whiz up the James Bond watches? Let's have a little look and whiz through these as well, because there was the 1995. There was GoldenEye.
Yeah, the
And
Pierce
that's
Brosnan
yeah,
one, the
Pierce
original.
Brosnan's where it's sort of. And then we went on to what? Tomorrow Never Dies was the next one.
Yep.
3 watches in a row, didn't they? They had the Seamaster Pro. So you had The World Is Not Enough, and then Die Another Day. And then 2006, we had the Seamaster Professional. And also there was a Planet Ocean.
Yep.
That made a little
That was at Daniel Craig,
minor
yeah.
appearance. Yeah. 2008, we had Quantum of Solace. I think one of the worst Bond films I've ever seen. And just disappeared off.
I
There you
didn't
go.
like it.
Next one, James.
I'm not that keen on the native straps, I'll be honest with
Next
you.
one,
It's not
James.
my cup of tea, but
No.
prefer
There you go,
bracelets.
Quantum of Solace.
Yeah.
And we go for Skyfall. Here's a Planet Ocean.
Very popular piece.
2015, we've got Spectre. It's got a little... Was that an Aquaterra?
That's a Planet Ocean.
Planet Ocean.
Yep.
On the NATO.
And then we've got 2021.
Probably
There
the
you
most
go. I like
popular,
that.
if
I
I'm
love that.
honest.
I like that on the NATO.
As soon as
Yeah,
we
no,
get
because of
that
the colour.
in,
The colour does
it
look
goes.
good on that, to be fair.
As soon as you get that in, that goes.
Yeah.
The one that...
There are other variants as well. You know what I noticed with Omega? They
Everybody's
do other
waiting for
models.
this.
Oh, sorry, I'll let you crack on.
all waiting
that?
for this, aren't they?
Oh, this one. Sorry, I thought you were going to say something else there.
The 60th anniversary.
Oh, yeah. I actually really like this
So
because I
do
do
I.
like the blue. It's one of my favourites.
They're
this
not.
one.
They're not in the boutiques yet, though.
Well,
still
you have to
haven't-
pre-order.
Price on this?
7-ish.
Yeah, it'll probably be around that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love the back of it. Look at that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wow.
Can I be honest? I always wasn't that keen. There's other models where they have the 007
Yes.
on the hand, second hand. I don't like that. I think it's too gimmicky for me.
Yep.
This one I like because there's nothing, no James Bond, no gimmicks on the actual dial or on the hands.
Yep, there we go.
Really, mainly the worst thing they did was put 007 on the second hand.
I hate that. You see,
Yeah.
I can't stand that.
A little bit too
I
gimmicky.
just like Jesus.
Yeah.
James Bond just announces that he's walked in.
Exactly. I want to tell you a really interesting story. If you'll just, Katie,
Go on then.
don't be pissed off that I'm holding you from Love Island.
That's all right.
Do you ever wonder how the universe brings things back to you? By the way, this has got absolutely nothing to do with watches. Have you ever wondered how the universe brings things back to you?
What do you
Like
mean?
when you're into something and you can't work out how that happens, how something happens. So I need
Go
to
on.
just tell you a story. For the past 2.5 months, I've been watching Sons of Anarchy. Okay. Incredible. I loved it. Vic and I, we've loved it. Last Thursday evening when I was planning this show and knew I was going to do something on Amiga, I thought, well, what shall I title it? I know, I'll call it The Amiga Man. Because in my head, once upon a time, that was a film. And it actually turns out, I Googled it, was 1971. Let me wind back a sec. So I'm watching Sons of Anarchy, and we're obsessed with this character, called Gemma Teller. Gemma Teller, the mother.
Okay.
And her name is Katie Sagal. Katie Sagal, S-A-G-A-L. Anyway, I've been watching for months. We're obsessed. We're watching the last episode, and I'm planning your show, and it's the Omega Man. And in my head, I'm going, oh, I'm sure it was a film in 1971. I get the poster up, and it says who's the director. The director was Boris Sagal, her father. The universe brought it all back in, and I was freaked out to the point where 5 days later, I'm still telling the story. But isn't that weird?
Very weird.
Yeah, shall I move on quickly?
No, but it's like
No, it is where things are, where it's related. Comes back.
I just
You
couldn't
think
work
maybe
that
my
out.
watches that I sold that I didn't want to sell come back? Maybe they'll come back to me.
Wow, amazing. There's been some new releases. Well, there's a new release coming up later this month. Let's have a look at this from AP. They're calling it the Black Beast.
I thought it was really funny, Gav. The way that picture just was, I thought your mic was part of the watch. That was really confusing.
I thought it was a Casio Royal there for a
yeah.
minute. I was confused.
They're calling it the Black Beast. It's a big
What is that? What metal,
ceramic
Gav?
monster.
Ceramic.
Yeah, ceramic. All ceramic. And I believe,
Oh, interesting.
that's coming.
What do you guys make of all... I'm still in two minds about all ceramic pieces, to be fair.
Don't know
I feel
about.
like if anyone can do it, it's
I would
probably
say of
AP.
all the watches, APs just do not do it for me at all.
No, see some of them for me.
Not
I
even
think
given
are
the money.
great.
I just don't. It doesn't scream to me because actually, to me, in a funny kind of way, I'm not sure where the value is.
No.
Well, Alex put me off them. Alex, the watchmaker.
Tell me
About
why.
rotor problems and all this. I was going to buy a Cartier Santos. After I spoke with Alex, guess what? I'm not buying one now.
So here's another one I want to bring up because I'm in dispute with one of my favourite brands at the moment. And I told them I'm going to burst all over social media about a box. But anyway, can you believe I posted last week on the show about Bape, Bathing Ape, my shoe brand, that I buy trainers from. And of course they do watches. Look at what they released last Saturday. Okay?
It's such
Hold
a
on.
joke.
Hold on. Ready for this? Tell me what this looks like. Tudor?
Yeah. Just go back to the one
earth
before.
are they getting away
What's
with
the
that?
name? What they call it? On the
Bapex.
So how do you know about this
That's
brand?
a type
What's this
one
about?
So basically, in short, it's a fashion brand. Okay,
Right,
I
okay.
buy shoes, trainers from them,
I thought it was Michael Kors for a minute. This
no,
you're
no,
showing
no.
me. I would have not come
And-
down today.
and basically they
How
just
they get
basically
away
rip
with
off
that?
Rolex
Right, okay.
to the point where you look at them and you think, how on earth are they getting away with
But there's
that?
another brand that do this. Was they called Parmigiani or something like that?
How they get away with that, Gav? I've no idea.
I mean, look at that. It beggars belief.
It's a
They're
talent, let me
they're
tell
about
you.
350 quid. I mean, it's not the point, but anyway.
You need any
Mental.
handsets?
Just thought I'd bring that to
You've
your
got a
attention,
Franken
everybody.
handset there, just waiting for you for 300 quid.
Yeah,
You can't
absolutely.
even get the hands for that price.
Now, you're back with us 2 weeks on the trot, aren't you?
I am.
What are you doing next week?
Well, I'm going to be sharing some magical love on the 13th of March.
Yeah.
I'm about to put Spence out of business.
Is this one on ban from?
Well,
Next
you're
week's
banned.
auction.
We've packed you off. You're not coming in for this one. In fact, it's going to be the Dream Trio. Thorpe's not here either. Where is he going to? LA?
It's going to LA. Isn't
Is he back from
I don't know.
Madeira and then going to LA?
That's why I stepped in, boys.
So he's making a cake, then going to LA.
Making a cake. God, that's a right dad joke. Madeira. Cake. Kaylee don't know, does she?
No, sorry.
So you're handling the auction with Kaylee next week.
Yeah.
Right, we'll have to have a
Exciting
debrief.
times. Yeah.
Give you a
Team.
debrief.
No
James,
debrief.
can you flick up the BQ website, please, so we can just
That's
flick
come
it
round
through
quick, hasn't
and
it?
go to the auction
Next week
site.
already.
Next week,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
next week. Yeah, next week.
We've got exciting news to announce soon as well.
You-
So,
You have, haven't you? Got a
yeah.
secret surprise.
secret surprise.
Yeah.
It's like Christmas come
Secret
early for the watch
surprise.
addicts out there.
Yeah, you've picked out 30. Now you've picked out these watches.
I
haven't you?
picked them out. I picked
Yeah.
these watches out, yeah.
Yeah, James is going to pop them up on the screen. Guys, if you haven't done so already, do head through to the BQ website, click the auctions tab, and you can have a look at all the lots that are going to be going live this Friday. Plenty of the watches. Jimmy, you've put 0 reserve on, haven't you?
Unless Spencer hacked the system.
Yeah, I did.
Without me knowing.
No, I
There's
did.
some with reserve,
There's
not
some.
everything. Some have got. I've learned.
I'd
Gav.
like a job.
Spence, if
Is
you'd
that
learned, I
okay?
won't be doing
told.
auctions anymore.
I mean,
I've been told that you can't put them in without reserve.
yeah, everyone was like
Okay.
messaging us.
I've got
Listen,
some
so-
caring customers.
I try to look after the watch enthusiasts, try and get him the best possible deal.
Yeah, there's
A watch is only worth what someone's willing to pay for it, Spencer.
Absolutely
Don't forget
right.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, and looking at some of the prices, one's going for 10 quid there. Oh, because the auction's not open yet, I was going to say.
Someone's bid for all of them, a tenner each. Yeah, the black one looks very
It's
nice.
all very, very nice.
So do I have a hammer?
Yes, we got a hammer for you.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, we got a hammer, we got buzzers when they don't sell. We've got all sorts going on here. It's all the gimmicks.
Exciting.
And we
Yeah.
get have a tan or a call from Spencer. What the hell's going on?
Exactly. Right, I think it's about time that we did... Only because Kaylee's got to shoot for Love Island. We're going to miss out her celebrity watch this week. 3 questions, all very much the same for Spencer and Jimmy. One piece of Amiga which can hold value other than a Snoopy. Which Amiga model holds its value and is a safe investment in your opinion? Are there any Amiga watches that are investment worthy?
Wow.
Feel like we covered it at the beginning, right?
You know, actually, we forgot to mention the Apollo mission models as well. They're not Snoopy. The ones that are the anniversary
the man on the moons.
pieces.
The man on the moons.
The Apollo or the Apollo?
The Apollo.
Apollos.
Apollos.
The Polos.
Apollo.
Apollo.
Yeah.
Okay. We all sound like we're just saying a
I,
polo.
just, I keep on thinking, it's Apollonia, I nearly said.
Apollonia.
However, I will
I
say
think,
sorry.
Greek, you know, Omega, Apollonia.
Yeah.
Anyway, the mission, what was it? The 50th anniversary pieces hold their value well.
And
But
probably...
also the Ed White. I didn't. Sorry, I
Even
only
the
thought about
Schumacher
that.
pieces hold their value now
Yeah.
well. The Schumacher Speedmasters.
But in
They're
terms
good
of,
finds.
if we're talking investment, you probably still want to have a classic, don't you? And perhaps
Yeah, just
Well,
anything,
have some
any
of the old,
321s.
yeah.
Any
The manual
original
wine.
321s, Lemania base.
Okay, let's go to question number 2. I've never seen the new coloured Speedy 57s at an AD. Supply issues or playing weightless games.
Look, the thing is, with those, they probably only get one of them in every, I don't know, every 6 months, and you've probably got a waiting list for 300 people per AD plus on those. You just have to be patient.
I mean, it is great. It's like make a queue and people will join it. It doesn't even matter if it's a good watch these
Yeah.
days. Just make a queue.
Yeah.
And that goes across the brands because even with Tudors, you know, it's on request now, isn't it? There we go.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Question number 3. Does Spencer ever wear a precious metal watch? If so, which one?
Smurf.
Gavel answer that.
Oh,
Smurf.
Question. Smurf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the only one, isn't it?
only.
Steve Cogg started to see a few full set GMT meteorites in dealers for 45k. Good time to pick one up
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
because
Well, they were sort of 70s and 80s.
If not
and,
more, yeah.
Going to the moon. They're a lot more sensible now. A lot
perfect. Mark Bowman, thoughts on the Speedy Reduced Schumacher editions? Do they become available to you?
Who's that? That will be for Spencer, I would have thought.
Yeah, I would have thought so.
more. And we do get them from time to time, but it's a great value watch. Really is, like all the reduced
But
size.
but out of all the reduced, the Schumacher ones are collectible now.
Yes.
Very
You know,
collectible.
there's quite a rare one I've had before. Is it the Pan Am, the white?
Yeah,
Do you remember that
that's
piece?
the one, the first one that came out.
Quite a
That
rare
one's
piece.
quite
Yeah.
highly sought after. That one.
Completely white, Gav. White dial.
So I'll tell you which one I love. The blacked out, like the all blacked out one.
Dark Side of the Moon.
Yeah, but like everything's black.
That's the one where you can't tell the time.
I just think it's
we
honestly
did the unboxing and said you can't tell the time.
one of my favourite watches. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I think because it's so. I mean, you literally cannot tell the time.
Yeah,
it's
can't see it.
amazing.
God, he loves a Rolex. Oh, Gotham. A Rolex or Amiga, better quality, Jimmy?
We could be here all night. You know, I
Yeah.
might have an argument with myself. This is a problem. And now he's trying to talk to
Right.
himself, trying to decide.
Yeah, can
It's
you
like-
not on? It's
You know what? What's better quality? It depends on the model. It's hard to, you can't, you know.
and part of the bracelets. Different
Yeah,
parts
yeah,
of the watch.
100%. It
I
depends
agree
on
with you. You could
Yeah.
go backwards and forwards forever on that.
Next question. If you were the CEO of Rolex, what would you get the design team to create?
God.
That's such a broad question.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I think Rolex are probably a very lazy design team. I'm just putting it out there. I wish I was a Rolex designer. I wake up, I go to the boardroom. What have you decided to do? I'm going to move that crown to that side, and I'm going to change
You're
the
right. They
colour
haven't
palette.
really done anything for
No.
years. They haven't.
I know what we'll do. Everyone else did titanium like 4 years ago. We'll do that now.
Let's do titanium.
Yeah.
Surely the only thing really was the OPs being like different colours.
Oh wow, that's
really.
not a big thing, is it? Though?
No, but like
Seiko bring out a colour every day of the week.
Jimmy, do you ever sit down and, as a watch addict, and
Yes.
and sort of doodle a watch that you'd like to see designed?
Yeah, I do that all the time because when I was a CGI artist, I used to design what I'd like to see a 3 Series or 4 Series BMW, or what my ideal watch would be.
And have you never sort of decided to sort of follow the process and have one manufactured?
Who
ever?
says I'm not doing that?
Okay.
Who says I'm not?
Okay.
Look, the thing is, it's the sort of things I come up with. You know, anyone I think I'm the Zeus of watchmaking, one guy goes to me, you know what I mean? Like, this stuff ain't really doable. You know, you're not going to have 2 tourbillons on there and this and that. No, but on a serious note, I would love to get into watch design and then see
it through and get
see
it
it
made.
through. Yeah.
The old watch lady's just given us a super chat. Thank you very much. The Alaska, she says.
Thank you.
Yeah. The Alaska. Means
Oh,
something
the
to you?
Alaska. Yes, yeah, that's the Speedmaster. Sorry.
Speedmaster.
Yeah. Oh, they've got so many different models. You'll probably find one
thank you.
They probably have, God knows.
Jimmy, that's why you're here.
Yeah,
I
no.
know, but good me saying to Spencer, the Alaska.
No, I do.
That's the one with the white, with the you know, the little red hands and yeah.
Yeah. Mad Watch Collector. I'm making a watch. Kickstarter coming. The Mad Hacker. You heard it here first. Looking forward to that, Russell.
Fantastic.
But just so you know, here is HERE. I'm a one for the spelling police. Bad Vlad, in your opinion, which is the best for a lady, Speedmaster Reduce or Speedmaster 38? Look at the dial on that.
You've got to go for the 38 for the ladies.
Yeah.
Ladies. It's a lady Speedmaster. I don't think they do very well, those, to be honest with you. I don't see...
You're saying the 38, not the reduced?
Yeah, the 38. Well, because they don't do the reduced anymore.
Yeah.
Question for Kaylee. Andy Binns is asking, how is Janilda doing and the baby?
Very well.
We've almost forgotten Janilda.
I saw her the other week.
You did? And
Went
how's
for
she
dinner.
doing?
Yeah, good. Yeah.
Yeah? I mean, the baby must be 1 now.
No, not yet.
No? Nearly?
Not far.
Not far.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're doing very well.
Thomas Bennett says the 15th anniversary of the Aquaterra 2017 was interesting. The Aquaterra at World Time came out in platinum, a bit pricey at 50k. Good job they released it in still in 2020. It's a great watch. What's our next question? Here we go. Question number 9. Spencer and Gavin's most favourite Amiga.
Go on, Gav.
Well,
Swatch.
actually, it's really tough because I do have my eyes, and only because I really quite like it. And I like the back on that new 60th anniversary.
I like that
Seamaster.
titanium we've got there on the NATO.
On the NATO.
Yeah.
You'd never wear an Amiga, though, would you? Ever?
No.
Only they started retaining their value.
No, you are a
I
real
just-
creature of comfort, aren't you? You really
I've
don't
just
change, do
for
you?
years always worn Rolex. You know I have.
Yeah. We're not
don't-
talking Rolex today, so
I know
we're gonna
no
move on from
use
that.
specialists that actually wear Rolex. I mean, sorry, Amiga. Sorry.
Amigas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For some,
Say, don't
because
wear
that's your
Rolex.
stock.
Yeah.
Because end of the day, you've got to buy stock that's going to retain its value, and you need
But
to
I do love that Amiga.
Yeah.
007 titanium.
Right, chaps, I think that's about enough for this week. Spencer, can you remember some of these new outros you're supposed to be doing for
What is it?
the
If you
end of the
haven't,
show? No, we got 9.
Don't forget the queue.
Don't forget
at
the
BQ.
queue. Don't forget the queue. If you don't want a queue,
but
go to
meanwhile,
BQ.
we still haven't changed it because
Stick his
everyone
hat on
likes-
for him. He's the head of the
let's have
cartel. Stick his hat on. Stick his hat on.
If you haven't
Jimmy,
subscribed yet,
Can we just say what a pleasure it is to
Thank
have
you.
you on? I'm so pleased you're
I'm very
coming
excited
next
for
week.
next
I hope
week.
you're going to do well next week.
Yeah.
sure you're in the cat properly.
By the
Des.
way, I just want to if it doesn't go so well next week, it's only down to one person, right?
Down
Jimmy,
thank you.
all eyes on you.
Kaylee.
It's all
Very
good.
you.
No worries. Look, end of the day, I'm a professional.
Why am
Good
I
man.
involved?
You know, so
I've
wherever.
saved you. You didn't want to do any reserves, and I've had to put some on.
Really, I think we need some more reserves.
Listen, I don't mind doing the reserves. Reserves starting at £10. At least
I have been guided, Gav, haven't I? People have said I should be doing more reserves.
Yeah. Does anyone else remember the first
Look,
auction
the
we done?
people that told you to do the reserves should also strap the microphone to your mouth. So you remember.
I've got
to
someone
take it
else
with
who
you.
forgets as well.
Ah, it's
On a
brilliant.
serious note,
Yeah.
if we're going to be doing a professional auction, I believe maybe you should do a reserve, Spencer. I don't want to give you a heart
But I've
attack.
still put
Yeah,
some
don't
a
give him a
little
heart
bit
attack,
older
please.
without.
Do you know what I mean?
It'd be fine.
After
Yes,
all, you are the Omega Man. You're going to have to go
You
and watch
might
that film
only
now.
be wearing Omegas at this program.
I might have to wear them next
MoonSwatch.
week.
He'll be sticking a load in the auction. Brilliant. Spencer, Over to you.
Okay, guys. If you haven't dealt with this yet, remember it's only a matter of time.
See you next week at the auction.
Don't forget to like
Bye.
and subscribe.